Hi everybody. I've just come on this morning. I mean, just to outline a few things, you know. I mean, how did we start off? We started off with this. And this. And then just look at this and look at it closely. What's in yellow at top? And look what it says. Now, you tell me, how do you go through all that? People have cheek to tell you things like that. And front off, I always said to them, just resolve it. It's quite simple. And over the course of all these films, and I would say this to the public in Wakefield, watch all films. Try watch them all and you will understand. There's no lies in it from my part, none at all. And you're left with question all the time. Is that what they really do? Is that where this money goes? There's some severe questions. And for a lot of you, there'll become times in your life where flooding will occur again, and you might rely on these videos, because they're shocking. And I will say this, there's a lot more to come. We're in a position with this coronavirus here, but I'm gonna, there's so much more to come, lots more to come on, some staggering things, some staggering abuse of power, position, and more than all, taxpayers' money. I mean, even that alone, all these ARCO here, you know, people have just basically abused the positions and, you know, taxpayers' money. Nick Fovigue, Rebecca Fovigue, Paul Madison, Matt Sherwood, Danny Chappell, to name a few, you know, and it's not a bit, they've spent thousands of your money. But when you look at everything, the abuse of position, you know, things they've done for their friends and how people's got jobs, so I would say look at everything. But some people have said to me, well, have you been to see so-and-so? So, yeah, I've seen MP, but I always knew this from off. Council had two powerful tools in there, I know. They had a bottomless pit of money, taxpayers' money, which they've used to their, well, they try to use to their advantage to shut me down. They also have a thing called non-transparency. Now, when you look at that non-transparency, what's it say non-transparency? It basically says, we'll do what we want and we don't have to tell you. There's no ifs and buts about that. That is exactly what they use. They use the big non-transparency thing. And it comes at you. And I know that a year ago. I mean, they destroy people's lives. And people I'm talking about are people who helped you. Sincerely helped you, not just some workers. They genuinely helped with people, you know, with flooding that. And they shut them down, they ruin lives. They abuse their positions. And Megan McRae, the chief executive, pays herself £174,000 a year. And she gets work-related bonuses. Now, you tell me anybody if that's right. Look at all these films. Does everything I've showed you, and as I said, there's more to come, does that not say to you, how did they get away with it? And as I said, they have the non-transparency tool. But what they didn't comprehend is this. Yeah, going to court, it will go to court, and I will win them in court, I'll beat them in court, I'll guarantee 100% I'll beat them in court. And I will with ombudsman. But what they look on is this. To try to keep everything to a minimum, basically. Court, yeah, either way, it'll be done and forgotten. Ombudsman, done. And trouble with all that, and I know this, I wasn't going to do this textbook. I knew a year ago exactly where I'd be sat today doing this. Because doing it like that, that's still there for me to do. But doing it like I am doing it, it was the only way I was going to be able to show all public exactly people who are running this council and money they waste to do it. They will literally spend absolutely hundreds of thousands going on with this. Hundreds of thousands, all the way to court. And I know at the end of the day, when I get there and beat them, I'm just going to close the options down where they can't say, well, this or well, that or it. When I do beat them, and they've shown ultimate disrespect to public, all taxpayers, public purse money, when I've finally shown that, which will happen, it will all culminate in that happening at court. When I've shown that, and I know I've closed them down so much where they can't run and say, well, it will this, it will that. What I want to be able to say, Henry, is I told everybody a year ago, and I told council a long time before that, you will abuse taxpayers' money that far and spend that much to cover this up, it will be impossible for you to get out on it. And what they do is this, even now, they could redeem themselves somewhat, and I've asked them to resolve it, but they don't want to do that. Because, like most things in life, they've gone down a track, basically, and it's like, for us to do that now, we're basically admitting this or admitting that. There's nothing to not admit about. I've put it all in front of you on all these films, and I ask you again, watch all films, because it's disturbing. So, everything's there, and how dare they keep going and going, and they're still, to this day, using your money, not their money, your money. Doesn't that show the arrogance and ignorance and complacency of these people? The lengths they'll go to. But believe me, to get everything out, you know, of course I'd like to wake up and go, oh well, they've been decent, they've tried to resolve matters, but no, they don't want to. They will go and go, and they expect one thing more than anything. It'll go away. It'll go away. At some point, it'll go away. What they didn't never expect in the wildest dreams, and it's causing absolute devastation for them, is someone like me who will never go away. Some people come along in life, and I'm one of them, and I can tell you this, I will never, ever go away. It won't happen. And for that reason, I've told them, you know, with trailers, I mean, people have offered to lend me trailers, trucks. Some people even said, you know, to give me money. And I will make sure, if I have to do it even on Christmas Day, I will go around everywhere in this district and make every single person in Wakefield see what they get up to. No ifs or buts about that. That will happen. But as I said, the lengths they go to, I mean, I'm going to show you things where you'll go, unbelievable. What I've showed you already, there's some unbelievable things, isn't there, you know? Some unbelievable things. And as I say, I'm going to go, I've about 80 sites to go around, you know, or my sons will, and, you know, taking pictures. And I'm going to show you all things what they do, spending your money. And there's some still that are just absolutely colossal amounts of money wasted. But the general thing was this, they didn't comprehend, they thought an organisation like them against me was a foregone conclusion. It'll have a bit of heat and then it'll simmer and it'll go away. They always think that. And that's the usual case for most people when you put a complaint in. You know, you're a single person. But I knew I was going to do this. I knew this is course of action I was going to take. I knew I'd deal with it how I wanted to. I wasn't never going to say, right, straight in the court. I wasn't never going to say, right, straight into this or that, or ombudsman. I wanted to make my case, you know. And I always said this, coming on here, coming on film, I was never going to make myself look a twat, lying to anybody. I was going to tell you the truth, how it is, with everything else. And as I said, when we do get to the point at Hendry, the amount of money they'll have wasted will be colossal. They've wasted the colossal amounts already. £100,000 investigations are your money, not mine. Not that, well, it is mine, taxpayers' money, but, you know, thousands upon thousands, and they're still done to today. and hide behind non-transparency. It's almost like a private company, you know, a CEO of a private company saying, I don't have to tell you anything, I own this company. They don't own it. It's owned by people, you know, and you'd expect good governance from people who run it, and you'd expect your taxpayers' hard-earned money to be distributed accordingly. But to come out with that, every penny and services, but yet all this vast amount of corruption, and it's bewildering, isn't it? It's absolutely bewildering. And then these were just an instant. I mean, all that money, you know, and all things brushed under the carpet. But yet, rest assured, and you will see me come round with you will see trailers come round with huge billboards. You will. They can do nothing about it. They just hope, I'll go away. But ask yourself this, everybody. Why did they not want to resolve matters with me? Why? Why? I had a few terms and conditions of my own. They could have said no, couldn't they? Quite easy, no. But they don't want to. There's still hope. This is complacency of them. There's still hope, even now, that miraculously I will just disappear, you know, into the sunset. And it, as I said, it won't happen. It won't happen. They'll claim on this, I mean, this Nick Fothergill on my invoices, they'll claim, oh, he's left now, and Danny Chappell. So does that matter? Does that really matter? Does it matter that somebody from fraud has left? Who didn't deal with? And as I said, I've lots to show you yet, you know, there's still a lot to show you. I've implored them, I said, look, just resolve matter. But when we get to the end of it all, at least everybody, and I said it from video one, you will all have an informed opinion where you can say, how dare they? How dare people do this? I understand somebody on 174 grand plus bonuses ain't going to give that up, you know, willingly. They're going to fight to end. But what you've got to understand is, when they're fighting to end, they aren't fighting with their own money. I use my own money. They're not fighting with their money. I mean, I've got no money. You know, they've more or less ruined my life. But they're fighting with your money. You know, it's your money, taxpayers' money. You know, and there's some shocking throughout these videos. I mean, the shocking things. And even trying to shut me down on YouTube. I mean, what does that say when they're doing that? Why doesn't one of them put a big piece in Express? Why don't they do that? Well, they're quick enough to put things in, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that for public. They do nothing really. They are a set of, well, make your own minds up. But yeah, why don't they put a big spread in Wakefield Express and, you know, call me a liar? Challenge me on things I've said. Do you know why? I can tell you this, that not one thing in one video can they beat me on that. Impossible. And there's more there's some disgusting things to show you, yeah. Absolutely disgusting things. And there's a lot of technical side that work for court on that, and it's a bit hard to, you know, to go like that, that's that. I mean, they're more of an interest to me, but I will try my best to show you some things. But it's important you do watch all videos. And a lot of people, I think council seem to think, when I say going around with billboard, I'm going to put Mary McRae's wage on a billboard, and I'm going to put all these allegations on a billboard, and I'm going to put all these names of people on a billboard, and I'm going to show everybody, and I'm going to keep doing that, and that was my intention, to do that. And as I said, they didn't comprehend that. Usually they expect somebody to just go away, and it was never going to happen with me. Never. If they're allowed to ruin people's lives, if they're allowed to leave people vulnerable to flooding, if they're allowed to have huge health and safety issues, if they're allowed to have engineers at their own whim just say, do that for me, to another engineer, spend thousands. If you in Kingsley are vulnerable to flooding, but yet an engineer's allowed to say, go clean that dike in Ponty racecourse, because it puts a bit of water on golf course. I mean, where are you left? As a public, where are you left? And I said, wouldn't you just, at a minimum, expect, your council, people who's supposed to serve you, wouldn't you expect a minimum to say, right, we'll resolve this. It's a battle of wills with them, but do you know what they never take into consideration? Your money. Because it is your money, literally, isn't it? It's your money. They will spend it and spend it and spend it. But yeah, it is my intention to do it like this. And this is never ending, this. I mean, there's a lot more to come. And when it gets to end of it, which will be a long time, that won't be end of it for me. Them billboards will go out till every single resident in every home in Wakefield knows about it. And you tell me this, in any other organisation, would you not expect people to be sacked? 2 people have been reprimanded. It's not, it just speaks volumes at Chief Executive. Shouldn't Chief Executive leave a position? Shouldn't people who's investigated this and wasted thousands lose their positions? It's like, I don't know, you know, you just, it's hard to comprehend how they dare, you know, use this non-transparency against the public they serve. It's like almost ridiculous. So yeah, try watch all films and that. Open your eyes up to what council really do. And ask yourself this, could you do that job at 174,000 plus bonuses? You know, would you expect to lose your job if you covered so much up? And as I said, there's people out there vulnerable to flooding, and make no mistake about it. If it happens and that, I can tell any MPs watching this, don't come to me for any kind of help, because you know what you'll get. I can tell you exactly what you'll get. You get told to go. But so yeah, all you people out there, understand fully what they do, and when you see billboards coming about, take a good look at them, because that's where your tax money goes. That's what how you thought of, you know. I mean, it's just complacency to the fault. But yeah, they never, as I said, they didn't expect this. They never did. It's causing huge upset in Wakefield Council, but it just don't cause enough for them to say, right, we must, you know, we've got to look at this with fresh eyes. We've got to sit down and we have to resolve this. They don't. There's a simple reason. It's not their money, whatever they're spending. Can you imagine if it were their own money they were having to defend this way? Do you think they would? No. Can you imagine what life would be like if they didn't have that non-transparency? To say that to people who you serve, to say that to people who pay your wages. We don't have to tell you this, we don't have to tell you that. I mean, it's a disgrace, and yeah, me doing this probably will never change that. But when you're faced with all these allegations and you try playing non-transparency, don't it tell you something about your council? Does it not just say what a set of people that, you know, don't it answer a lot of questions? What they really are? Yeah, what they really are. I mean, trying to take me down on Facebook, they just reinstate them anyway, you know. And as I said, when I get out, or my sons will go, well, when my sons are allowed to go out, because my sons they know all sides, you're going to see a lot more disturbing things. And as I said, I offer to help, I offer to resolve things, no. So yeah, some people out there who are put in for things or don't get things done, do you know what your money's going to go on? It's going to go on a massive investigation still ongoing, and it is on. They'll tell you it hasn't finished. Because every time I'm doing that, they're having to deal with this back in Wakefield, and they should be dealing with a lot of other things. So I'm going to get round. I want to get round to, you know, contractors. I want to get round to, you know, they'll spend 4 or 5 grand. Frickley, they'll spend 4 or 5 grand down at Old Frickley Colliery site. I want to show you in more depth, doing certain things, but yeah, just up road, people flood. And there's lots of them all over district, absolutely lots of them. And do you know what I'm a great believer in? If I keep plugging away like I do, and I keep going and going, at some point, something really good will happen for me and something bad will happen for them. And when I say bad will happen, I don't mean physically, but what I mean is at some point MPs start talking, journalists start talking a bit more. I mean, Wakefield Express, I've lost all faith with Wakefield Express. I think Wakefield Express, in my opinion, that's just my opinion, they tread it same halls as these people, and basically it's more of a cosy relationship. That's how I look at it with them. You know, I mean, your local paper, wouldn't you think with all these videos, your local paper would have something to say? Or at a minimum they say, can you reply to this? But they don't. They don't. And this is what you're up against. You're up against bureaucracy at a level so great, it's unbelievable. And if you watch all the video, I'll tell you how they try, stick round Mary McRae, guard her, defend things. It's not right, it's not right. People shouldn't have their lives ruined, A lot of you people out there, you've lost out, especially with people flood, you've lost out a lot. And do you know one of the other things? The contractors now, though, it costs you a fortune, an absolute fortune. And all these things you would have never got to know. You would have never got to know all these things, and that's what I say, I wanted people to know. I want everybody to know. And I don't want them to have no way to slither out at the end of it all and say, well, we tried. What they've tried to do is just get out of things, brush things under carpets, defend Chief Executive's wage, and there's some others in there on big wages. Because when I get to the end of this, and I will get to end, I'll get to the end of it, and unfortunately for them, they think the end of it basically will come, and let me tell you this, only person who'll ever put an end to it is me, who's sat here, and it'll never happen, because there's a lot more people at Wings as well waiting to do things. So I just wanted to tell you that I'm going to come back on, because I'm going to do I have got some comparisons to do. You won't believe some of the things they do, money spent through, you won't believe it. And do you know one of the big things what's hurting? I want just somebody on a phone ringing making a complaint. I've got 15 years, 15 years of knowledge, behind me. Undeniable knowledge, not lies. I've got 15 years where I could come to you with, and that's a major source of discomfort to the council. But yeah, you imagine this morning. I'm sat here, there's a woman sat earning £3,500 a week, and they try to justify she gets work. How do you get a work-related bonus with all this? Tell me. She sat there. Now, can you imagine the ignorance and arrogance of that person and the people around her? They know all this. Every person in here should have been sacked for a start. Engineers doing favours for engineers should have been sacked. Engineers asking for dikes being cleaned because there's a little bit of water goes on putting green at golf course should have been sacked. Engineers causing huge health and safety concerns should have been sacked. And when that all culminates to one thing, it culminates to, if that's true, then Chief Exec should go. And that's the big bugbear here. They just don't want to let her go. She's, it's like a Rottweiler looking down on all little pups saying, don't one of you go against me. And that was another thing. I'll tell you what happened as well. We're under that department I work, that land drainage. Some of the junior engineers, and it's like in any organisation, they know a lot what was going on, but like they said, you have to work in